All right, so we're back on the Mana Symbol channel, and we're playing another. We're on another affinity list, so we're going to be playing two different affinity lists tonight, in addition to the list we played yesterday, all of which are subtly different. So this one is fairly similar to yesterday's list. The Mirror Enforcers have been replaced by Thoughtcasts, essentially. There's another Thoughtcast in here and a Nettlecyst. And then everything else is generally in the same spots. There's no Signal Pests. So that's the biggest difference here. There's no copies of Signal Pests. There's also 2 copies of Glimmervoid and no basic, which is ever so slightly sketchy feeling. In fact, I think I'm just going to be conservative and add an island right now. We did get fielded or ghost quartered or pathed yesterday, which I think is probably getting more and more common. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that. I don't think you can play the deck with another 1-drop. It can be Scourge. So I think that's without. I'm just running this list that was in the 5-0. Like, both of the lists I'm running tonight are different lists from today's posted 5-0 or like a couple days ago posted 5-0. So I am just not going to worry about it, and we'll see if we get got. That's my plan. So we're on Memnites and Ornithopters, Welding Jars. Still got the 1 Gingerbrute main deck, Pithing Needle, Shadowspear, and Aether Spellbomb. Never jiggy. And we've got Galvanic Blast and 1 Nettlecyst. So main deck is very similar. Just a little bit more consistency in this version. Slightly fewer creatures. And then the sideboard is significantly different. We're not playing Stubborn Denial because we're not playing as many creatures with a guaranteed 4 power. We're playing Metallic Rebuke instead, which is a little bit more mana intensive. Not as many copies of Relic. We've got 1 Soul Guide, 1 Relic, so we've got a split of graveyard stuff. And then Etched Champion still here and Wear Tear. So, yeah, let's go. This is not the right list. There we go. Yeah, it's pretty up there, Goddess Girl. Tom Cardy has serious command of comedic timing and musical timing. Yeah. Alright, we got our Jegantha. Opening hand is a little bit slow, but it's pretty stable. We're against Jegantha, so we're either against Tron or another Affinity deck. In both cases, this hand is a little bit weak. But I think I'm going to keep it just because it's so stable. This is a hand that'll definitely get punished by someone being on something very fast. Yeah. So we'll see how powerful their opener is here. All right, looks like they're on the challenge list. Okay, good draw. So I can vomit out both Frogmites next turn, or Saga plus 1 Frogmite. Frogmite can't, or will be chumping a Memnite or trading with the Memnite, which is not necessarily something I want to do, so we'll see where we end up. If I play Saga this turn, next turn I can go Citadel, create the token, play Frogmite. We're up to 5 artifacts, which is, again, not great, but we're getting there. Alright. Signal Pest doing work over there. Memnite is a sick draw. So we go Saga. Memnite. Frogmite. Cool. Hey, baby. How's it going, Mr. Mordekaiser? You're doing as good as I think you look. That's a good 301. It's a quality 301. Well, that's the quote about you, Mord. That's not the Mord command. Alright, we're getting beat up by a Signal Pest draw out of the opponent. But should be able to pull through okay. So no matter what I do here, I can't make the construct and get enough for Sojourner. Unless I draw more cheap artifacts. But I'm pretty sure I should be trading with this Memnite instead of taking 3 damage. It's just too much. With how much, with the sort of trajectory of this game. The construct's going to be a 5/5, so it actually blocks the Mirror Enforcer effectively. And then next turn we get Springleaf Drum, and that unlocks Thought Monitor, Thoughtcast fairly quickly. I would say Mord is one of the most important, huge members of this chat. The thickness of his contribution, the girth, can't be understated. Shall not. Oh, I forgot about the Signal Pest boosting the Mirror Enforcer. So yeah, I lose the construct. That sucks. Not my favorite. We'll still be okay, but... The Aussies have such a wonderful breadth of ways to tell you they're going to fight you. If there's anything I've learned from this Tom Cardy song, it's that. Yeah, no. That I've heard in live context is very, very real. Alright, so Springleaf, Saga. Not monitor. Well, I got a Thoughtcast for days. Got chicken for days, baby. Alright, so they can't block with Saga. Not Pepperoni here. Oh no. That's annoying. They were holding a Galvanic Blast to blow away my Thought Monitor. So very quickly I'm getting into the... Yeah. Well, they just had a draw that's very good against ours. So we drop the Signal Pest and immediately get smashed up by them. A-Tog Fling. Wait, that would be lethal on this board. But more importantly, why would you need ATOG when you have Cranial Plating in this deck? Like, that's probably enough, right? And also, you'd play Thud, I would assume. Alright, they got another blast. Nope. That was not my Shadowspear off the top deck. That was not my Shadowspear off the top. All right. Is it worth playing the Springleaf here for an extra point of damage and life? Almost definitely not. I would also have to tap a creature. Yeah, because they've got the Saga token coming in. Hey, it's Daedara. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 9? So we assign the damage like that. Oh, but if I regenerate, I lose my construct. And I don't kill their construct, right? It's probably good enough. And I get another token next turn that's still going to be bigger than theirs. And we've got the Aether Spellbomb to blow up their next construct unless they Pithing Needle my Springleaf. So... Man, their problem is they can get their own spear. That's not that big of a problem. They can't attack with it on their construct this turn, though. So they're not gaining that much. I mean, they put it on the Thought Monitor that they can gain 5. Which is, you know, it's not bad. But I don't feel disadvantaged here. They didn't even equip it. The Wonderful Realm of Mirrodin Block Limited? No, the equipment was way better than this, my friend. Way better than this. One of us would have drawn a Cranial Plating by now. What is this last card? We saw the Jegantha. Now they're equipped? I mean, sure. Alright, so we do this thing. there anything worth needling here? Not really. Is it like just Gingerbrute? In case I draw a Cranial Plating finally? I think so. So I can't equip my Shadowspear this turn. Doesn't really matter. There's no point in me attacking or anything here. I could attack with the Gingerbrute for 1. But I think we'll just sit for a second. So I think I chump block the Thought Monitor this turn if they don't equip the Shadowspear to it. And regenerate the Ornithopter. Actually, probably should have done that last turn. I definitely should have done that last turn. But I didn't. Alright, let's do the song requests. Damn, they figured it out. They found the line. I do not want to bounce that with my Aether Spellbomb. Okay. Well, we just take this. It's fine. 5, 6, 7, go to 3. Obviously, if they have another Galvanic Blast by now, I would be dead, but I can crack the Gingerbrute. Why not blocking? It has Tramp. These are 1/1s. Yes. Why am I not blocking? Because I didn't do any math. I didn't think about anything. I just was like, I'm not blocking the Thought Monitor, so it doesn't matter, and I can't prevent any amount of damage. And the answer was, no. No, that's not the case, Zach. You moron. Math is for suckers? Math is for people playing tighter than I am. So it should be for me, but. So you send that guy. On the plus side, like, we're in a great spot. So, smash. What's your plan there, champ? Math is for blockers. All right, so Wear Tear seems real good here. And probably Dispatch is better than Blast. Pithing Needle is a double-edged sword, but I think I'm happy with it. I think I want all the things that just put me up on cards. I don't think Nettlecyst is important, but yeah, it's not. It's basically as good as Cranial Plating here, but... So I think these are the cards I want. It's possible Aether Grid should be in here. Kind of awkward, like if they get a really thick construct. But it's all right. Sure. How can it be double-edged? It's a needle? Well, it has infinite edges. It's a needle. It's double-edged, but it's also triple-edged. And onwards into infinity. So I took out one of the Glimmervoids, so we'll see if it ends up being a problem for Wear Tear. There were only 2, so realistically we're playing Wear Tear off of a Springleaf Drum. The reason to keep Galvanic Blast would be to try to like diffuse an early draw from them, but I don't know. Trim Island? What? No, I meant in the deck building. I didn't board out the Glimmervoid. I didn't board out a Glimmervoid. I cut a Glimmervoid from the deck, and I put an island in its place because I was nervous about getting Path to Exiled or Ghost Quartered or what have you. Jiggy called me a coward, don't worry. Jiggy called me a coward already, so you don't have to... It is pretty coward. Listen. What? Jiggy, not the jig. I don't call the jig is up. No, I don't call the jig is up, or the jig is always up. I don't call him Jiggy. Jiggy is only Jiggy. Yeah, coward doesn't mean you're wrong. Coward equals coward. No, I'm just not going to call you Jiggy. The jig is always up. I'm going to call you Jig. It gets confusing because sometimes we call Jiggy Wiggy Jig. Sometimes we call him Jiggy. Sometimes we call him Dr. Combo. And yes, Jen and I, you can call me a friend. You would call me a coward for not running 61. I can't keep that one. 1, 2, 3. This almost gets there. I mean, we got to draw out a bit, but I don't really feel like mulling to 5 in this matchup. Why no Skull Clamp? I don't have enough 1 toughness creatures. Could keep the first one. No, absolutely not. We were not close to casting any of those monitors. Not close. This is a much better hand, I believe. I could be wrong, but... Okay. Was that necessary, opponent? I think I should have cut maybe one of the Citadels or one of the treasure vaults. So they're not getting any value off the Saga, huh? That's awesome. That's really, really good for us. Triple Frogmite, though. Has anyone got an Echoing Decay I could borrow? Anyone got Echoing Decay? Hey, look, the Signal Pest is going to kick our ass this game. Remember that really smart, handsome deck builder was like, hey, my build with Signal Pest is really good. And I was sitting here being like, psh, psh. Like I was made of steam. Psh. I guess I could have booted this up to attack. I'm not blocking with it. Yeah. And my Ornithopter can block their Ornithopter. Let's get our marginal life points here. They get Shadowspear? Oh, and they have a second land, and the second land is a Saga. Alright, it's not super relevant, but... I wonder where they're going to put it. Just on a Frogmite? I would guess. So I think I'm taking most of this hit from them. I mean, I could... No, maybe I'm supposed to trade off the chunk of the board. Yeah, I think I'm supposed to trade off as much of the board as possible, because I'm just going to start dominating with them with the Saga here. Oh, but this is a 4-3, so I can't fight that one yet. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4. So my token next turn is a 5-5, so I can trade these 2 Frogmites, no problem. Okay. They can Welding Jar, but that's fine. We're still very much ahead. They're just counting on drawing their next land. They didn't even do it. I guess they're protecting the Shadowspear? Or maybe the Frogmite that they bothered spending the mana on equipping. That's a sick draw. Alright. And so it came to pass that giant constructs of doom came for our opponent, and they found themselves in a right state. Uh-oh. If you have a Resolved Shark Typhoon and evoke Endurance, do I get a token? No. No, it's still a creature. It's only the card types that are written on it. So... opponent's a Pepperoni? Yeah, opponent is Thurley Pepperoni. They have 0 cards in hand. There's no... Qu'est-ce que c'est ça? They just want to gain the 4 life? I mean, that's fine. Okay, so I could get Pithing Needle on Saga here to stop them from getting another token, but I'm pretty sure I have to get Springleaf Drum to start unloading these Thought Monitors, and assuming that we'll pull ahead of what they've got here. We've got double Construct, so I think we will. Yeah. Okay. So next turn I have Plating. So depending on how they choose to attack, we're going to end up in a really good spot here. Jump block? Sure. It's just making your construct smaller, opponent. Just making your construct smaller. Aw, it's an 8/8. It's so cute. Might be a 9/9. Little baby construct. Only an 8/8. It's so cute. Do they get a Signal Pest? Okay. That's legal in this state. Waiting for Big Brain to make it make sense. Yes, yes. Aren't we all, Two Crowns? Aren't we all? We're all waiting for meaning to reveal itself in our lives. And yet it does not. Gingerbrute? Sure. They have a creature that can block my Gingerbrute. Okay, so I'm not sure I want to play Treasure Vault yet. I'm going to leave Gingerbrute up now in case they mise a Cranial Plating, because that would actually be close to lethal. That's good. That's good. That's fine. This means next turn we have a sneaky way to insta-equip the Cranial Plating. However, for this turn... So... I need to leave as much as possible back. That said, I'm pretty sure I'm happy to trade the Thopter for their Thought Monitor. See, you don't need to attack ever, people. You never need to attack. What have I told you? Attacking is unnecessary in Magic. I win all the time. I don't need to attack. Passive lethal. It's a very good ability. Yeah, Esper Sentinels it makes your mana a lot more difficult in the most difficult part of the game, Chaos Theory. That's the only problem with Sentinels. You really want to play it as early as possible, and it's very difficult to do that reasonably. You are playing 5 lands that could conceivably play the Sentinel on 1 plus 4 Springleaf Drums, which requires a fairly dense sequence. I think, not to be overly critical, but I think this deck is misbuilt. Mishra's Bauble is not worth playing in Affinity if you're not playing Emery, which you're not. Yeah. There's just a lot of stuff in this deck that seems like, not. It's. I think you will very quickly figure out that it's not functional. Oh yeah. I mean, bad decks, poorly built decks are almost as good decks as long as you're playing them against other decks that are on the sort of same power level. Like, buy a box constructed can be a great format. You're just like noodling around with like whatever you opened when we were all beginners. Emery equals better Thoughtcast. I mean, we're going to try her out in a version later. I think I'm mulliganing this hand. This is nowhere near good enough. I know this hand could become something very, very good, but I'm not interested in finding out. That's much better. I think we bottom the Blast. I can be super greedy and bottom Island. hey, Fran. Am I gonna be really greedy and bottom the Island? Where's Mordekaiser? Where's my boy Jig? Jiggy Wiggy, tell me we bottom the Island. I'm bottoming the Island. We're on the draw. We'll be fine. Never needed this island in my life. It wasn't even gonna help me much, right? Yeah, Deck Builder's toolkits were great. I did an event once at a store where we did Deck Builder's toolkit constructed. Easy bottom Island. Next turn we can Thought Monitor, assuming they remove none of my creatures. If they remove the drum, though, we're going to be really stranded. If this is a prismatic ending matchup, we're going to be in trouble real quick if they do that. Spreading Seas, on the other hand, no problem. Just turns my land into something that is almost better. You decided what you're bringing to that face-to-face event? What are you bringing? Opt. This is not blue-white control. Or at least not stock blue-white control. Is it red? Okay. It's blue and it's white, but it's not stock blue-white control. So I'm just going to go ahead and attack first, see what they're up to. I really don't want to get my Thought Monitor countered here. But I think there's nothing that I can do to stop it. If they had had a removal spell, we still had enough to get the Thought Monitor cast this turn. Maybe they just don't have a counter spell in hand. Could be. No, they have it. They just prioritized correctly. Oh, I had reduced the cost by enough because they didn't kill anything. I was ready for them to kill something, that's why I was tapping too. But it's fine. I don't need the Darksteel mana for anything right here. Fran says just pass. I don't know. So if they have Archmage's Charm, once these are tapped, it's fine. Yeah, see, the problem with passing, though, is now, like, if they just verdict, then I can't play the Thought Monarch. Oh my god, I did it again. Like, we just have to... I know, but I didn't really have any other good options. Like, if I do nothing, they're just going to be able to use their mana efficiently like, or not efficiently, but, like, they have supreme inevitability in this matchup. They playing mana last turn was bad. I mean, from a certain point of view, the Jedi are evil, right? Like, because I don't know. I don't agree. I just don't agree. Like, well, we beat Blue-White Control the other day, but we just had to have a Saga draw. And I think we're in a better position now. Yeah, I mean, it would have been if I felt like I had anything more that I could do, because they can't punish you. I mean, not on the turn 2, but at the same side, like, I want to jam because the percentage chance that they have exactly Counterspell on turn 2 is not... It's not 100%. The castle's rough? That's not too bad. Again, as long as we find a... This is a great thing for us to see. As long as we find a Saga or a Cranial Plating, we're still very much in this game. I mean, I can, Alex, but it's just like it's a big pain in the ass. I have to keep moving it up and down and up and down and up and down. I do it where I can, but this isn't even long enough to... Yeah. Do I play Nettlecyst this turn? No, I have to kill this. They got the Cauldron complete. Sorry, I just got distracted. Jam the Nettlecyst first? I don't have enough mana to do both, so I have to. Yeah. Yeah, it's all good. It's all good. On the plus side, this means they're less likely to have Verdict. Jig. Time Cop. Time Cop. Yikes. They're playing Batterskull? Yikes. Alright. Maybe? Alright, maybe? If I got to unban one card in Modern, what would it be? I think most of chat knows the answer. Actually, I feel like chat would be split. The spoiler is that I would go for the healthier choice. Yeah, Jiggy, that definitely makes sense for you. Do a poll. I could do a poll. Golgari Grave Troll. That's Randy's choice. 9U? 9U. Okay, so they're at 1. They do have Batterskull into Cauldron, and then they can equip it. Oh man, if I'd played this first, I would have had lethal. Oh well. I'm not going to worry about it. I could worry about it, but I'm not going to. But we have lethal around the Batterskull into Cauldron complete. So... Sure. In before Verdict. Again, they're very unlikely to be playing Verdict in the list they're playing, but sure. If I get Verdicted, I get Verdicted. I mean, I have a Saga that's about to go off, and we have a Welding Jar in play. So Verdict is not even that big of a problem. I'm shocked they didn't go Cauldra into Batterskull, equip Batterskull, swing, gain 9. Like, I don't know what their plan is here. Maybe they don't have one. No, the order does matter. They... Oh, does the order matter? Maybe the order doesn't matter. The order doesn't matter. You're right. Because the Cauldron Complete has haste no matter what. It's a pretty okay draw. I mean... If I attack with anything but just the flyer... It's basically a punt, right? Because they have the Cauldron Complete. They're going to gain at least 4. So if they, as long as they have removal, which they have to have, attacking with anything but just the Ornithopter is a punt. So let's attack with just the Ornithopter. Kill you. Luris, Cascade, Blue-White Control, and Jund Sagavan. Okay, so they wanted the Ornithopter. Fair. So we get Gingerbrute next turn, and we kill them unblockably? In theory. You are not scary. Jund Sagavan is the Luris deck that is doing the best in the metagame. Also Hammer Time. Although Boros Burn is getting very close to being something I would call tier 1. It's getting real close. What is this? Yeah, okay. Saw this coming a mile away. So we just take the 9 from this thing. I don't really care. Nah, I'm good. You're at 10. That's so... Nope, Burn didn't get anything new. That's the thing that's been amazing about the recent Modern metagame, is it's been changing without any new cards coming into it. It's just metagame forces just pushing each other around. Sword of Feast and Famine. So... I don't need this other construct, but I'm getting Gingerbrute. I need to pay 1 for its thing, and I need to pay 1 to make it unblockable. And then I can't equip the Cranial Plating again this turn. They only have 2 mana up, so I'm just assuming that they don't have anything here to stop me. Which I think is fair at this point. Spellbomb also wins here? Oh yeah, Spellbomb would sack them horribly, right? Spellbomb is more conservative, Jig. I wouldn't have expected that from you. Spellbomb means we put them under, like, the triple abyss. Oh, their thing has haste. Good catch. Yeah. Well, it dies, and it gives them a bunch of life, Fran. It doesn't do nothing. It does a whole bunch of bad things. It's much worse than nothing. Yeah, the trinket text is, you gotta actually pay attention. So they can re-equip only one of those next turn. They can equip the Sword of Feast and Famine to the Ornithopter, and I don't have a flyer, so they can hit me for 5, 6, 7 next turn. And I have to leave back enough blocks for everything else, but I think we'll be okay. Wait, I can force... 3 blocks here. Yeah. And then they don't block with Thopter. They should not block with Thopter. They throw everything on the Thopter and try to kill me. They can go Vigilance +2/+2, Lifelink, and the Feast and Famine, and that lets them make another token next turn. But they're blocking with the Thopter? That's just a mistake. I wonder if they'll see it. Ew. I mean, there may be a reason that this is a better block for them, but I doubt it. I'm not equipping the Cranial Plating here by choice, because I would rather have the extra blocker. Right, yeah, that's exactly what they should have done, 2 crowns. Because the Ornithopter was the only one I couldn't block. If they equip Cauldron Complete and sort of Feast and Famine on this, assuming they can afford it, I can block it, and they will get no trigger. I'll lose a Giant Construct token, but I don't really care. Yeah. Combat math? In my Modern? It's more likely than you think. Hi, I'm Zach Mana Symbol Ryle, and today we're going to talk about the state of the Modern format. Alright, so we get Dispatch in here, I guess, and we keep the blasts. I honestly don't want to change too much else. I came a long way from this is unwinnable to swing for 30. Did I ever say that was unwinnable? It felt crappy when I thought they were on blue-white control, but if you noticed, as soon as they played the Stoneforge Mystic, I said, oh, this is way better for us. Because I thought they were on the good deck. Which would have had 4 prismatic endings in it that would have, like, at least one of which would have removed my... Someone said it in chat. I mean, that's fine. I also commented, like, it's unwinnable if we draw Saga or Plating, and then we got both. Right, exactly. Like, it very easily could have been much worse. Yeah, I don't think it... with the way that game was going, it was very unlikely we could beat blue-white. I think this is all I want to do. I think... No, I want more blasts. This is good, this is good, this is good, this is good. Like, what can I shave on here? Yeah, it's all good. It's all good. And, like, I was not... I think I'd probably shave a Memnite. Just one. So we're down 1 Welding Jar, 1 Memnite. We're going to go slower this game. We're on the draw. It'll be fine. I think. You like Etched Champion? Maybe. Yeah. I never liked this card in this deck. I have never once had a game with Etched Champion with these decks that I really was impressed by. But I think it's just that I don't believe in the card, and that's skewing my perception. I want the full boat of equipment with Etched Champion. I can't really cut anything cheap. Yeah, I mean, I understand, Fran. I'm just sharing my experience. Maybe we shave a Thought Monitor, because they're good at kind of bricking our stuff in the early game. We've got Thoughtcast to make up for it. Someone can yell at me that it's never correct to cut a Thought Monitor, but I love Thought Monitor very, very much. It's just a very difficult card to play in a lot of matchups. All right, we're going to keep this one. It's slow, but that's kind of what we need to be. Slow and steady. So we lead on the Indestructible Land. So they're not really able to mess with that. Oh, we'll lead on the Indestructible Land because they're not really able to mess with that. And then, again, if they have Spreading Seas, we're in an okay spot for that. We've got Dispatch to shoot at an early Cauldron. Yeah, same play but better, exactly. I think we play Indestructible Land into Frogmite this turn, and then Saga into Champion. So yeah, this is a nice sequence. Correct, Fran. That's why the other game when we only had Darksteel Citadel in play, I was like, if they Spreading Season, it just makes it infinitely better for us because then it taps for blue, which is the only color I want it to tap for. It does remove the Indestructible, but like, what are they gonna do? Spreading Season, then boom bust me? And they're playing the colors for it. Time Rattler, you got it. What are you gonna do? Bounce my Frogmite? Yes, good. Thank you. So we play Saga into Champion here. Champion won't have protection. I could play Vault, Gingerbrute. Oh, Gingerbrute kills Teferi. Should probably play Saga, Brute, Vault into Champ. And Champ has protection. I understand that, but I would prefer to kill this Teferi now rather than later. And we'll have a Saga doing stuff, and we just keep holding on to this. There's no. I can also play Frog. Yeah, but I don't kill the Teferi. I guess the Champion could kill the Teferi next turn. All right, let's trust the Champion. Yeah, let's fine. Let's try trusting the Champion. I don't trust the Champion. Let's try trusting the Champion. If they've boarded into a more control-heavy setup and then they just verdict us here, I'm not going to blame you for that one. Though it does mean I'll bring back the Welding Jar, the second Welding Jar that I cut. So no verdicts? No, they are on Stoneblade, but Stoneblade can sideboard into a control strategy. I've seen it happen a lot of times. It's like the classic juke. Yeah. Exactly. It's like we're committing to a line that we get punished if they have verdict, and as long as we're okay with that, then I don't have any problem with it. Gingerbrute. So they could have 2/2 Shark here. We can activate Gingerbrute in response with no problem. We lose the Frogmite. We'll still have 5 artifacts. Then I play Saga into Sojourners. So that's fine. Okay. This only costs 1, right? Yeah, good. So this should be Shark, right? I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed in myself. Okay. Let's get Saga online. And then grab Jegantha. Think it was still fine to go for it? Sure. I mean, you could think it's fine to go for it all you want, but instant speed verdict, so good. Yeah, it sure is. And I boarded out a number of the Galvanic Blast, so it's much harder for us to remove Teferi now. So this is a 1-mana Thoughtcast. This is currently 3. Means I miss out on the... I agree with you, Fran, but I also don't think it was the correct play. I think it was a correct play. I don't think it was the correct play. I think it's very uncommon when there is only one correct play. Like, we didn't know how they sideboarded, and this isn't a common deck. So you're just playing percentages, like no matter which direction you choose to go. And I don't know. I don't know if I had a feeling. I don't know if I've seen a recent list of this that made my play make more sense. I don't know. I just get to smile and go, sometimes I'm pretty good at this game. Yeah, exactly. So I'm getting Welding Jar here. Yeah, we're in okay shape, but the Teferi's going to start being really, really annoying now. Like, this bounces my construct, and now I got nothing out of the Saga that I spent multiple turns investing in. And in my mind, they're going to have a better
that we
late
crush
game
the Freedom
than I am.
Fighters before the start of the
That's not
rainy
necessarily
season.
true because
And
they've had to
remember,
board into
a
control
shiny new
from
donkey
a
for whoever
tempo
brings me the head
strategy.
of Colonel Montoya.
But the spot I'm in feels really, really bad. It's not unwinnable, it's just bad. No, see, but the thing about playing the champion there to avoid the counter magic is I don't need to play the champion for like another 5 turns. I had tons of stuff to do. But, you know. It wasn't necessary. Yeah, that's exactly what I said. That's what I'm saying. They cut Stoneforge Mystic. Yes, our dispatch seems... Yes, I boarded against one version of the deck and then I was playing around another. But then Metallic Rebuke would be bad too. Alright. Am I off it? I have a Saga. I'm not off it yet. We have Jegantha and a dispatch here. The big problem is they're going to get Hall online if they have one more land. But, alright, now I'm off it. God, that was brutal. Yes, it is, Fran. I guess Etched Champion plus Welding Jar is really good here in theory. No, it's subdivisions. Yeah, Dimir, I'm not going to worry about it. I mean, this setup is fine even if they do that. It is absolutely possible for that to happen, but I'm just not worried. Does Shadowspear look cuttable here? Yeah, I was almost thinking of it. I feel like every time I've ever cut Shadowspear in this deck, I regret it. But it's a new day. It's a new day to get punished in a different way. Also, Needle? We have the Needle. I don't need 2 needles, but I don't want 0 needles. Oh, you mean cutting the needle and then getting punished for cutting the needle? Yeah. Alright, unfortunately, we gotta mulligan this. This is not good, but it's a keep. Yeah, I got you. Yeah. So this is getting cycled for an artifact land on 2 to get me to this Thought Monitor. So I don't need the Ornithopter in theory. It's just the worst card in this. I can't cast the Galvanic Blast, though. This is not a great hand in the matchup. I don't even know if I want to lead on the Thopter on 1. I guess I can wait to cycle for the Companion until turn 3, but I'm not leading on the Thopter here, unless I think they have Chalice, but there's no way. Yeah. Well, and then there was also, like, they were hitting us pretty hard the other game. Like, it could have been possible we actually needed the life gain. We didn't, but... So if I get the artifact land, then the Frogmite's free next turn, which gets me closer to the Thought Monitor. course, they're going to have the counterspell, but still. We got to try. Oh my god, I missed the site. I got distracted. Alright, well, maybe we'll be okay anyway. They're not countering that. They're not countering this. Might counter that. Nope. Alright, 6 power. But I drew my 1 island, so if we get pathed, I have nothing. You love to see that. I mean, obviously they're setting up for their verdict, but... If this resolves, I also get to play Thought Monitor, which means I'm not equipping. But I think this is the only play that makes sense. Oh, they just have nothing? Alright, well. Time to get annihilated, but we'll hit them hard first. Let them know who's boss. Who knows? Maybe they don't have the verdict, or maybe they had to take fetch shock. Nope. Rats. Artifact land? It's fine. It feels like this game is the repentance. The whole match feels like we were supposed to lose game 1 because they were supposed to be on blue-white, and then they boarded into blue-white, which is why we're now losing. They brought the bad deck, then they boarded into the good deck, and the good deck is killing us, and then maybe for the next league they'll be like, maybe I should have just played that in the first place. Spreading Siege? Sure. Still an artifact. No problem. They still have the Stoneforges on? Super. Well, I have all my Galvanic Blasts, so maybe we find one? Of course, I can't cast it unless I have a creature in play. And this costs all my mana, so they gotta not have a counterspell once. But they've had exactly everything they needed every step along the way this game. Shit. What did they get? Batterskull? Okay, I guess that's not too bad. But this is like, we're just gonna get eaten by Teferi. It's also could mean that they had the Cauldron Complete in hand already. Well, I get to kill the Teferi now. Most likely. That's really good. They could just start resetting Batterskulls, so I don't think it makes any sense to do anything about that. Any chance of me playing Dredge on stream? No. I've done it once before. I don't enjoy it. I mean, it's technically possible I would do it again, but I don't think so. I just don't like anything about what Dredge is. Jeez. Goodness gracious, opponent. I mean, we still have a gigantic flyer. Like, I think I'm still winning this race at the moment, but I'm assuming they have more. I have no beef with anyone who wants to play Dredge, who enjoys playing Dredge. It's all fine, but I just have no interest. That's annoying. So, remember how we boarded out of that Shadowspear? It's obviously not any percentage of the problem with this game. Okay, that's basically irrelevant. Uh, 11U? Now they're going to have Shark Typhoon? No. All right. I'm off it. We got annihilated by the blue-white Stoneblade deck pivoting. So it's fine. And basically game 2 and 3, we got eaten by Teferi. I still... Yeah, I think my instinct about how I wanted to play game 2 is correct, but I listened to chat and I got. It's also possible they had the verdicts in game 1 and they just didn't draw one. So maybe it was more the paths and prismatic endings that came in up post board. Obviously the paths. I would assume the paths, but thanks, Bits. Is that you? That is you. Neat. Well played. We had a very, very interesting tipping point in game 2, and I let chat talk me into Etched Champion, both in the sideboarding and in that game, and then it got me horribly, horribly punished. So this wants a second land. This also wants a second land, but it could kind of play. All right. Quinjwa is our opponent. Monkey. That's not a land. But it is a second creature. It's fairly unlikely they can get through 2. The problem is their deck is probably able to play Magic better from this point. They didn't attack. That can't possibly be correct. But, alright. If they have counter here, I want to make them use it. But I want to make them use it on... I don't even know if they counter the Cranial Plating. I guess I'll make them use it on the Sojourners. So if they didn't have removal last turn, they won't have removal this turn, most likely. And then... Or I guess double removal. This should eat a counter if they have one. Yep. They know the secret, don't attack, win games. Yes, it's the way. We're about to see a giant Murktide. It's actually not that big. The 6/6? Yeah, 6/6. Big enough, though. Yep. Thanks, deck. Affinity. You're so good to me. Really? So they got a second monkey? That's the only thing I can imagine this means. Uh-huh. Destiny! Robots? What's a robot? They're playing main decked EE. That's probably the only one they have, though. I'm assuming they were trying to draw their bolt or heat. They didn't flip the heat there, so they can't kill this Frogmite with a heat. So they have to have a bolt. They have it? They don't have it? They can't decide if they have it or not? Yeah, it's... They killed the other Frogmite. It's a one of, though, which is just not... I'm not expecting... I just wasn't expecting to see it get milled over there. That's all I was saying. Is like, they were playing the main deck DE, but it didn't come up in the right spot for them, and it doesn't really... Yeah. And, of course, they had the second monkey to dash out of their hand. They took Darksteel Citadel off the top. That's totally fine. That wasn't a useful card for me in any way. Problem is, now I kind of... Jeez! This build has been just all over me. Alright, well, they didn't have removal for this last turn, and now we're pod racing. Seriously? This is how this game is going? Want to buy a Spreading Seas? Yeah. I hope they're on one of Jacob's hilarious versions of Blue Moon and it's playing Spreading Seas. Don't attack with Murktide. They're going to trade it for the trampling, lifelinging Frogmite. Love it. Sojourner's Companion. They can cast that. They can cast that. I wonder if they will. I don't know that it's wrong for them to. No, they're not. They probably don't know that they could actually afford it there. Counterspell? Archmage's Charm? Yep, counterspell. That's annoying. They're expressing themselves! This is actually really scary, because if they find a removal spell, it will kill my Frogmite. Bolt or heat. Hey, how's it going, Dad Confidant? They put the heat in their hand. It's a call center, but I don't have to make any calls. You're taking calls. Interesting. They are on 0 cards in hand. Please tell me the top of my deck is playable, opponent. I would really appreciate it. Just writing emails? I think the center that you work in is misnamed. All right. Thopter. Thought Monitor. Trigger. Second Springleaf Drum. All right. Yep. Okay. They got 1 card in hand plus the Fiery Islet. I was saying the call center you work in is misnamed if you are neither sending nor receiving calls. Just making a bad joke. Don't worry about it. Alright, opponent, in all the excitement, I lost track of how many artifacts I have. So you gotta ask yourself the question. You feel lucky? Do ya? Island in Exile, not too lucky. But they put a card in their hand. Could be a lot of stuff. Fuck off! What? Oh my god. Wow. Well played. Oh, so good. Oh, so good. Yeah, the third monkey. Sometimes you get got. I mean, we had plenty of outs, and we just oh my! I am so done with Etched Champion. I can't. I'm not playing Etched Champion. I'm not. I can't do it because if I play Etched Champion, I'm going to be put into a situation. I guarantee it, where I have to play it on 3 mana into all their open mana, and it's going to eat a counterspell, and it's just going to be garbage. Like, sorry. I have this serious hate on for Etched Champion. I don't think any of the blue decks are the right place to be playing Etched Champion. It just as every time I play against a blue deck, like there's just this really awkward spot where I have to like try to fit it into the curve and it never. I just feel like it never ever works. I've never had this card work for me, except if it's something where they can't interact with it, right? And that's like Jund was a good example. Someone said, or I don't know, like Mardu, Black Red. Those matchups that feels like much more appropriate to me. I can't fathom it ever managing to work. Yeah. Again, that's me, but like I can't. It's just there's just no way, right? Like and I feel like they're going to have the attrition elements where like people are like, "Oh, but it's the best equipment carrier you have." And it's like, "Well, sure, but like they're just going to kill the equipment then. They don't need to deal with the other thing." All right, so I could play this later. So we go Citadel Spear, then Saga Frogmite. Yeah, or Treasure Vault, but I'd rather. I think it's good in the removal heavy decks when they're killing your low drops often enough. The cards like Sojourner's Companion are costing you 3. Yeah. That's the perfect example. And this deck or blue white or Stoneblade are not any of those things. Well, Thought Monitor is a Thopter, right? And Etched Champion is a construct? Can you bounce artifact lands with Tef? You sure can. You sure can. Boy, howdy. Soldier? Huh. Etched Champion's a soldier. Interesting. Just -3 your Tef and look at all the things that are highlighted. You can see what you can bounce. It'll show you. It'll have everything grayed out and then like a white border around anything you can bounce. Tried soldering, but I burnt my finger. Are you just making a joke about this spelling of soldier? Or did someone misspell soldier? No, he didn't. Solder is spelled differently, right? There's just no E, or sorry, no I in solder. Pretty sure. Could be wrong. So Saga, Frogmite. Yeah, it's SOLDER, right? Solder, or is it SOLDAR? It's something really stupid. You know what else is a soldier? Esper Sentinel? Well, I need that. It's a Sentinel. But the Etched Champion, I mean, like, Champion's not a SOLDER, yeah. Yeah, soldering. Yeah, you know, just solder it. Well, they've used the heat on something that wasn't a thick construct boy. So that's good news. Depending on what their artifact hate of choice in the sideboard is, we might be in a good spot right now. But if they have Alpen Moon, it's going to be a pain in the butt. I sold her a soldering iron. There you go. Have I cracked a treasure vault? Not yet. I was close in one game because I realized it opened up the potential to get double black so I could instant equip. I mentioned it. I said I have a sneaky way to get an instant equip, but I didn't need it. You gotta be kidding me. Okay. Okay. Thanks, opponent. Yeah, this is fine. It's not great, but it's fine. But this basically means this game is over, I guess. I mean, not actually, but it's real bad. We're not going to make the second construct with this, but we will get Welding Jar. So we'll see how clever they are. Still feel like you should have made it do to block? No, then they blow it up, right? Either way, I end up with one guy, but this way I didn't take the Ragavan hit that turn, right? Am I wrong? Someone tell me I'm wrong. No, but then I have to tap my mana this turn to make my construct. No, the early EE crack does... I'm better off now. Right? Am I wrong? Because I just go pass here to resolve this. I guess I should have not tapped it for the mana if I was trying to really get him good. Because then I could... No, because I just tapped in response. No, I ended up in the exact same spot, except I wouldn't have the mana if they didn't crack it. So now they have to crack this, or I can get Pithing Needle. No, we have a Needle main board, too. But I boarded out the Needle, but I'm not getting Needle. I'm getting Welding Jar. Yeah, they let it go. Good, but then I lose the construct last turn, and I have to spend the... I have to spend all my mana making the construct this turn. I swear this is better. I also almost feel like I should get Relic instead of Jar. But I'm getting Jar, because it protects the construct, which I feel like is a big deal. 1, 2, 3, 4... Sorry, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, plus the 1. Sure. I mean, I don't even claim that I'm expert here. Oh, okay, you just want to clarify what chat was... Well, I mean, I think I understood it. I'm just saying I don't think that people thought this far ahead. Pithing Needle, if it was in the deck, protects everything. What everything, though? Because, like, I can just start attacking with this. This is going to prompt more of a response than anything I did last turn. Not blocking. Taking the hit. Just taking the hit for 7. Yeah. Well, I mean, I that's why... No, I boarded it out. I don't have a Pithing Needle in the deck right now, but I'm just saying, like, even if I could have gotten it, I just don't think it's worth it. What is worth it is either equipping the Shadowspear or playing Cranial Plating. I guess it's equipped Shadowspear. Because this is the creature I want to protect. Yeah, I got you, Pelican Man. Sorry, it's just I'm just not tracking all the names properly right now. Oh, yeah. And then if they have heat or what have you here, heat won't do it. That's fine. All right. I did my best. We're in about the best spot we can get. They also lost their treasure there, which they didn't like. Obviously, they're probably not happy about that. This is heats are flipped now. Unfortunately. Wait, could I have saved my construct there? Am I a moron? I'm a moron. I should have saved my construct there. I was getting distracted by the post distraction and then I punted. Big punt. Huge punt. Should have had the construct right now. But if they had removal, they would have cast it there. So I think we're about to win this game. Thanks, Grimit. Yes, it looks like it's not going to matter, but... You're pretty dead, opponent. I think they let themselves get bullied this game. And even though I punted there, I should have a giant construct in addition to this guy. If they end up having the heat here, I'm going to be... Nah, they're just that kind of player. Okay. I'll assign my damage. Yeah, I agree with you, Pelican Man. I mean, we made it through there, so I'll be back in one moment. Try to figure out my sideboarding. I made a small punt in the last game, too, in addition to the big punt. I just realized it. That's okay. We'll be fine. Hey, yeah. I mean, the other important thing to realize, Pelican Man, though, is I'm up 4 minutes on clock. Like, I don't need to be rushing. I'm just playing too fast for no particularly good reason. Okay, we've got a blocker for Monkey. If they don't have early Monkey, we got a good hand. Or do they have... Okay, good. No turn 1 Monkey in all 3 games. I appreciate you, opponent. I do. Don't love the second plating. Don't want to feed the Memnite to this Dragon's Rage Channeler at the moment, so let's just pass here. Because what we can do is go turn 2 Treasure Vault, Artifact Cycle, because we get the tapped blue-red land, but... They've got the land, right? I guess they bobble. Okay, good. Yep. Slow as she goes, boys. Slow as she goes. Yeah, we'll not let them cast their counterspell here. Or use their mana on heats. Maybe they have Thought Scour, but that's fine. Wow, opponent, are you telling me your deck is one of the best decks in Modern? Really? Look at it. What are you doing? Cycle's Nimble Obstructionist. No! Yeah, it is, Iron Man is on theme for Affinity. That is facts. What do you do? Counter my Cranial Plating opponent? Ha! I'd like to see it. Thought Scour? That's not a counterspell at all. I don't know what's going on in this art, but I know I like it. So the question is, do we find the one Psycho playing like Shattering Spree? Not yet, we haven't. 5 cards in hand. So next turn we lead on Thoughtcast for 1 blue. And then we'll see what happens. That's a big boy. Yeah, because it could draw me into the second blue source. I didn't. I saw an update when I was doing the dishes that said something about ban ? But I have no idea. I haven't looked at it. Okay, I'll check it out in a minute. So I'm definitely playing Saga this turn. Memnite, and then we go Treasure Vault into Sojourners. For 1. Oh, I played a non-Saga land. I did not mean to do that. Woof. Well, that's bad. Let's make really sure that their DRC is not flipping. At least not soon. And then I guess we quit plating here and pass the turn. Okay, not good. Should have had a Saga down that would make a gigantic construct next turn and get me the Shadowspear right before I die. Unholy Heat. Sure. However... Oh, that's his thing? What do you want me to... Do you want my feelings on it? Spike has good Twitter skills. He can get away with it, I guess. And people are willing to have a conversation about what he posted, so... I don't know, like, he's already got people's attention, so I feel like he could post almost whatever he wants. Yeah, it's a shit post. There's no meaning to it. It's not interesting. Seeing people's reaction is kind of interesting. I don't judge the dude for doing it. I guess it's a little bit funny. It's not a particularly shitty shit post. Doing work. It's honest. Yeah, so the punt with Saga is really going to hurt me. This has got to be expressive, right? Nope. X-Spell? EE on 2. Yeah. Yep. That's annoying. If we draw a Dispatch, it won't be too bad, but I have to find a way to cast it. Alright, that's... yeah. So we lead on Thought Monitor. If this gets countered, equip Cranial Plating, attack. Oh, I don't have red. Oh, it resolved. That's huge. Not that good, though. But it should buy me some time, maybe? Yeah, I want to force them to blow it up this turn so I can play the second one. Or chump block, I guess. They should just detonate their E, and then I get to play out my second plating. And equip it to Thought Monitor. And then they need a pretty ridiculous sequence to get through that. They're just going to chump block? Sure, that makes sense too. I'm still going to force them to blow it up, though. I don't think that play made any sense for them. Like, they basically still have to detonate this. Okay. And we'll cycle Soul Guide to draw a card on their end step. Oh my god. They don't stop. What a draw. I guess they never had counter magic, so. I mean, I understand that 2 crowns. I just didn't expect them to have the umpteenth piece of removal there, too. Your Soul Guy is just going to grow the Murktide. If I draw a card with it, I really doubt it. But anything's possible, I guess. The Soul Guide came in too late this game. We drew it. I did not want to draw it. I did not board this card in so that I would draw it in a situation like this, but that's how it happens, so we are where we are. And they still have the Engineered Explosives. And I didn't draw any Flying Blocker. They just had too many removal spells here. I think we can't get there. The misplay with the Saga is really what killed us this game, because we'd be able to play through all this, but we're dead. So it's fine. They played that very well, and I did not. I think I could have gotten through there, but I misplayed it. So I'm not going to be... I don't really have a problem with that one. But yeah, I knew the Soul Guide was going to grow the Murktide, but then they did it themselves anyway, so... But it's all good. It's all good. We're 2 followers away from 2,000. Doesn't mean anything, but... Well, thanks, Jeff Chard. No, it's not necessary. I wasn't saying it. I just looked over at my sort of activity feed thingy and the numbers there, so. It is neat, though. It is quite the accomplishment. It's all good, Jiggy. We got beat up in the control matchup, and then last game I made a bunch of punts to lose. These decks have some very... I mean, honestly, I said exactly what I wanted to do on the turn, and then I just played the wrong card for no good reason. So, it really wasn't... it wasn't a strategic punt. It was basically just, another one of those things that probably wouldn't happen if I wasn't streaming or if I was playing in paper or whatever. So, it's just the kind of thing I don't get fussed about. How's Affinity been treating me? Well, we 5-0'd last night with the list that was from the challenge. This league has been very difficult, but some interesting learning experiences. We're against Phoenix. Okay. Feel like this is going to be a good matchup, although they are on the good version. But we're kind of two ships in the night in this matchup. Is there anything I can Pithing Needle at all? I guess one of their fetch lands. They milled over 2 Scalding Tarns. They usually play Flooded Strand. No, they've milled over 2, or they sacrificed 1 Scalding Tarn already, and they milled over the other one. So I think we name Flooded Strand, if I'm gonna do that. I think they're all spells. This deck is all spells, so we'll board this out in game 2. But yeah, I'm on it. Am I muted? Am I muted here? Yeah, I saw your when you did that and you talked about it. Can't play the Sojourner's Companion this turn, but that's okay. Where's Twitch chat? No, this is Patrick. So next turn I can go Aether Spellbomb into Thought Monitor into everything. I detect your air vibrations with my side head holes. Love that. Oh my god, triple gaze. There's a Flooded Strand. Ladies and gentlemen, we got the son of a bitch. Wait. No, I'm sure it's fine. I'm sure we got him. I'm sure we got him. Definitely didn't not get them. The question is, now they've spewed three 1-drops? So, like... Oh, they're just going Murktide. That makes sense. Good. So this thing, then this thing, then... Oh, well. Hey, opponent, how much power did you put into play? 8. Huh. Yeah, that's something. That's pretty good, I guess. Yeah, 8 power. Wow. I mean, I'm over here with 12, but, you know. Sometimes you draw the 1-ofs that you put in because of Urza Saga and you get them. We do not need Galvanic Blast, but Dispatch is exactly what I want. And then probably Rebuke. It's not great, but it's probably worth it. Please, for the love of God, nobody say Etched Champion. Don't you fucking do it. Board out Welding Jar because they do have mostly prismatic endings. Nettlecyst seems slow. And I cut probably 1 Thoughtcast. I can always count on Alex to meme for me. Actually, I think I want Thoughtcast more than Sojourner's Companion. I know it's part of what won us that game, but it's also clunky. Where are we on Etched Champion? I don't like the card. I don't believe in the card. More like sketch-eyed champion, right? Well, we definitely don't want Etched Champion this matchup, though, because they don't play a lot of removal, period. And their prismatic endings have a hard time targeting most of our creatures. They can target our equipment, though, and once again, if they remove your equipment, then Etched Champion's not worth having. So we've got double Springleaf, and we're almost able to cast the champion or companion. I'm gonna keep this. It's not great, but you know. Okay, now we can do everything. More like Etched has been. Squirmint, why you gotta cut him so deep? It's that just seems cruel. The hell am I listening to? The Stranglers, Peaches. It's not the Peaches song I know, but it's pretty good. It's pretty good, I guess. Yeah, I kind of thought this would happen, but actually because of Gingerbrute here, this is totally fine. And the second Springleaf, obviously. Let's play the Memnite. Memnite. Thoughtcast. Damn, how good did this guys get for me? Am I one short? I'm one short. I'll take it. You want your Moxen back? No! Modern would be ruined. You want to play Mox Opal? Go play Legacy. This apparently the 8 Thoughtcast or the 8 Thought Affinity deck is very, very reasonable there, or it was for a short period. Are they just spewing and praying? Oh, no. But they haven't hit any Phoenixes yet. Might have a... Oh, it looks like... Okay, Murktide. Good, good. We got the one last night, RK99. This league I've been punting a bunch, so... Boop! Yeah, it was the final match was a freebie. The opponent made the most confusing throw the match plays in game 3 I have ever seen in my life. I do not understand why they did what they did, but they did. It was something else. It really was. And surprisingly, they didn't play Etched Champion. Though they did kill my Etched Champion. Oh. Alright. So we crushed Phoenix. Not surprising. I mean, I didn't expect to beat them that badly, but both games, their entire plan was a Murktide, and we had an answer for it, and then they went, oh. All right. Man, Sojourner's Companion, the artifact land cycling, like I looked down on this card initially, and it has been very relevant a bunch of times. Okay. I don't assume they're on any board wipes, and I don't assume they're on any chalices. But I also don't think I have a reason not to play out my entire hand. I didn't particularly like the Salamander. I was like, oh, it's Mirror Enforcer with like a small upside, like whatever. But like in this game, it's going to get me to my third land, which is important for both the Saga and the Nettlecyst, which is almost definitely better than the body, which is an amazing situation to be in. Or if we draw... They killed one of the Thopters? If we draw a Springleaf Drum, then I don't have to cycle it. So it's like kind of neat the way it splits the function that way. Okay, if this is Blue Moon, I'm afraid of them having Blood Moon next turn, but nothing you can do. Like, I don't have the ability to play around it, so... So now I don't need to play the Sojourner's Companion. And I didn't need to play the Saga this turn, but I think it's worth doing. Oh, this is too much. Well, if they Blood Moon, maybe we end up cycling the Companion. Yeah, we likely do. Jeez. Alright, well. It is what it is, you know. No Blood Moon, please. Okay. They're expressing themselves! Stop them! Oh, for the love of God! Someone get the joys of life! I love that Mo quote. Someone get the joys of life! Oh, I'm paralyzed. I sure hope medical science can cure me. Yeah, 2 crowns got the other good one. Somebody think of the children. Ooh. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Eh. Murktide. Okay. And Jacob Comiskey's perennial favorite, no longer, the Crimson Murktide from Alabama. Yeah, I mean, we just go maximum power here. And then it's got to be Shadowspear. I mean, I guess I could get Aether Spellbomb, but because I don't have any mana this turn, it's like... Oh no, I already have a Welding Jar in play. Alright, we get the Spellbomb, actually. Alright, good stuff. I just want to pod into Micaeus the Unhallowed like I used to. Jiggy. No. No more. Listen, if I can't cast Astrolabe, then... Wait, I'm not willing to make that deal. Am I? I guess I would be. Can you imagine Uro in pod decks, though? Can you imagine Uro in pod decks? That would be something. You fucking jerk. That is not a play. No play Salamander for free? Oh my god, I missed it. Sorry, I was so distracted with all the other things that were going on. Planar T41. Yeah, that's on me. Yeah, that's really bad. I forgot that they still play Archmage's Charm, because the previous player didn't play, like, any of them. Well, that's colossally bad. And missing the Sojourner's Companion there is bad too, because now I'm down to 5 artifacts. It's not too bad, but it's bad. We can still race them, but be way better if I had another 4 power in play. Yeah, I've just been punting all over the place. So, 6... Trigger. They don't play 1 minute counters. God, I love me some Thought Monitor. It is incredibly unlikely they can remove all of my flying blockers. So this looks really good. But imagine if I was hitting them for 15 there. That would be much better. If I draw an untapped land, we can also play an equipped Nettlecyst, so we get double lethal. Double up, Okay. Do they have Archmage's Charm again? Nope. Yeah, exactly, Skirmit. Well, but Pod can't activate as an instant, thank God. Imagine if Pod was an Eldraine, and it said you could only activate it during your turn. So you pod in an Uro, and then your next pod pods out the Uro. Gross. Disgusting. Hey, JK Torborg. I've been punting, but I'm having a good night. So, you know, just the regular old Mana Symbol stream. What are you gonna do? Bolt? You can do it after. It's fine. Am I Classic Affinity? No, I'm playing Thought Monitors. I'm playing good cards. Oh, this is out of range of Bolt now. I think I just let this go, right? I mean, what do I care? I have Welding Jar. I have Welding Jar to regenerate things that don't cost 0. Like, just in case they draw their one of main deck EE. Let's unban KCI while we're unbanning totally reasonable things. I mean, the problem with KCI is kind of, I guess, a lot of the problem that people had with... Oh, you came by it, JK. At least I think you did. The problem with KCI is a tournament logistics problem more than anything else. The problem with KCI is not strictly power level. I mean, it is really annoying on power level, but it's not only power level that makes KCI obnoxious. It's also the fact that you have to play against people playing the deck. And that is not something that anyone should have to do, but we all do if it's legal. All right, we'll make them chump. I don't think they have a way out of this game now. That's pretty good, though. So that drops this out of combat anyway. They have to block this. I'm not using Welding Jar. It's fine. So we lose both Sojourner's companions on this attack, which means they get another turn. But I really don't know that this gets them anywhere. I think I probably could have played around that by equipping to one of my flying creatures, the Nettlecyst. But that would have cost 2 mana and lost me the Germ token, so I don't really know which one's better. Yes, correct, Jojo Bear. It's Sensei's Divining Top and KCI were both very powerful, very problematic cards. But the biggest reason they were banned is because I think you should have swung with the Monitor too. I just wanted extra blockers, Jig, because they weren't conceding, and I didn't see how I could lose that game at that point. So maybe some percentage of hubris, but No, I understand we can't unban top. I said it was also very powerful, but the biggest problem with top was the tournament logistics one, as far as what they used to explain the ban. I understand that since top has been banned, it might be even more powerful, but that's not really the point I'm touching on here. Unban top and implement top chess clocks? Oh my god. Remember how I mentioned tournament logistics being a real problem? Chess clocks don't help. Chess clocks make things much worse. No, I understood Larynx. Also, I love Rue in the costume. Rue Sip with the costume is freaking unreal. Got an eminence front. It's an eminence front. It's put on. Alright, let's cut a thought monitor here. I know it's really, really good, but I can't imagine what... No. No, Thoughtcast. Yeah. If I get punished by drawing too many thought monitors in the wrong place, I'll take it. Come and join the party, dressed to kill. Alright, we're going to keep this one. Hopefully it works out. I would love to draw a land in the first 2 draws. If we do, this is an exceptional hand. If we don't, well, let's just draw the land. Opponent mulls to 6. Good. They probably boarded in Blood Moon, so that's something to be cognizant of, but this hand isn't soft to Blood Moon until we draw a second land that's a Saga. But that'll be fine, right? DRC. That's not a monkey. I don't give a sh... This one? This one? Not this one. Okay, so... the toss-up this turn is going to be between second Springleaf Drum. They're not considering countering this, are they? I mean, they could. So assuming this Memnite resolves, which it should, the toss-up here is between Springleaf Drum and Relic. I'm pretty sure I'm grabbing Relic. If they counter this, fine. Well played, opponent, for baiting it out this long. Although, if they counter this, you know, then they've gone this far without interacting with the stuff I was playing out, so 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. No, that's not the same thing at all, Pelican Man. It's just, I mean... I guess it's a similar problem of people staying in games where they have like a 0.01% chance to win, but they stay in the game anyway, but then they feel miserable about it, and they're not... Sometimes people are either able to describe that, but they're not able to get over it, or they're not able to describe it, and then they're even more frustrated and upset by it. It's kind of the classic control player problem. But the biggest problem with KCI is because of the way tournaments work. When you go to time in the round, you have 5 turns. But if each KCI turn takes 5+ minutes and they're actually making decisions, right? But that's not the only problem, because again, there was a legitimate problem. Which is just within the design of tournaments. Sorry, you brought up KCI as a joke? fine. It's not a problem. We can talk about stuff here, right? I don't think anyone's attacking anyone else. Nobody's like really upset. I think we're good. Just miss playing KCI? That's totally fine. You can miss playing KCI. Yeah, we're judges. And not only do we actually... I don't have any horror stories with KCI, right? But I respect the fact that horror stories that were KCI adjacent existed. And maybe some people just don't think about it that way, right? When you're a judge, you start seeing things like companions, and you just get nervous right away because you know that people are going to are going to have problems with it. You know you don't have a policy for it, and you know that the new policy. We're going to Fran if I get the chance to. Anyway. But you know that there's going to be lag time between the policy catching up with stuff. I had the same person get game loss. Not game loss. I had the same person lose a game for missed trigger on their Summoner's Pact. It was like 9 months apart. And each time I called the judge... once they had maneuvered themselves in a position where they would lose the game, and then they lost the game. You could have cycled last turn to hit land drop. I could have. Yeah. Instead of playing the Springleaf Drum. Thank you for pointing that out. I didn't think about that or realize it. They go EE on 0? Are they going after my Ornithopter instead of my 2 Springleaf Drums? Or do they have another EE and they're just... What is happening? They're casting Murktide. They're popping the EE. Yeah, it is, Roy. Do they have Steam Vents into last card Murktide? So if I can find any creature, we dispatch Murktide. And then we're in a pretty okay spot. But yeah, I should have cycled for the land rather than the Springleaf Drum and then played the Springleaf Drum off the land. I didn't think about it. Crap. I'm 1 artifact short. Oof. Well, we needed that land and we never found it, but there's still time. Second Fire Outlet? Okay. They cracked it instead of holding up potential counterspell, so that's a good sign. So, still have a good opening here. Okay. Frogmite. Ornithopter. Welding Jar. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. We're short. Alright. So we're going to 6. Could just be dead, but... Oh, it absolutely is J.K. Torborg, but I mean, it's especially bad for you, right? Because you're playing a deck that's like trying to resolve like 7 mana things by cheating on mana a bunch with actual factual cardboard. Okay, Lightning Bolt. So we're at 3. Okay. Okay, so we're alive. If they have the second bolt, we're not, but can't play around that. They don't. They would have shocked that, right? Good draw. They don't have haste flyers. They do have haste monkey. So, if they have a bolt, it won't kill Sojourners. All right. So we could still be dead here if they just have the bolt, but Yeah. Okay, so just it was like one turn too late that we got off. Which is, you know, it is what it is. Hey, Spider Space, how's it going? I think I want to cut Nettlecyst for the last Thopter. Yeah, alright. They're running Jace now, by the way, like, what the fuck? Well, so there is one established, excellent, top tier level, tier 1 version of Blue-Red Murktide with a few flex spots. However, when you're playing a league, sometimes you'll run into a deck that looks like Blue-Red Murktide, but is in fact some variation of what I'm going to refer to as Blue Moon. And it could have as few as like 3 threats, or 5, depending on how you count them, because some of them are like 3 Jace, 2 Fury, 2 Brazen Borrower. Ooh, 9 Cetheris. Thanks for that Prime sub, friend. For anyone else who does have a free Prime sub, make sure you use that somewhere this month. It doesn't have to be here, but I highly recommend you use it somewhere, because Jeff Bezos doesn't need another gold-plated house or rocket car. I highly recommend using it in our good friend Jacob Comiskey's channel here, Moored to Light, Tunneling Cat. F. Paulus is pretty big. I don't know if he needs more money, but I'm sure he'll be happy for it. This is a fine opener. Not great, but we have double Thoughtcast to find stuff and we can cast them. It's really easy for a lot of decks to look like the Blue-Red Murktide. Right, but some of them don't even play it. That's the thing. Like some of them, you'll play against them, you'll lose against them, and then at the end of the match, you'll realize you only lost to Monkey and DRC or Blood Moon and Jace, and maybe he's huge. Oh, he's so big. Thick's what we like to call him. Thick Franny, sweet Franny Adams. So 1, 2, 3. So we're paying 2 mana for our Thoughtcast like a peasant. Good lord. What is this? Okay. I don't really feel like playing this Memnite out, but since I have a Welding Jar, I guess. I don't think I'd use the Welding Jar on the Memnite, but well, they must have a turn 3 Blood Moon, right? But there's no way in the world I'm not playing Saga this turn. At least I don't think there is. Just hope I don't draw too many of them in this game. Oh. Right. Yeah, well, we play Saga here. If we get God, we get God. Like, there's just nothing to do. If they Blood Moon, I can cast Blast. Easy! Don't do it. Oh, well, they would have 0 blue. It'd be really funny if they did it. Yeah, they're not doing it. Probably have an Engineer Explosives, but we've got the Welding Jar already. So we're in a good spot for that. Archmages charm my Shadowspear? Charm my Memnite? If they charm my Memnite, I am going to be just the happiest dude. This has to be charm, right? What else would they be, like, tanking on the last? They don't have enough cards in their graveyard for Magmatic Sinkhole. Yeah, it's charm the Memnite. Good lord. Gosh, that is so bad for you. Yeah, you can keep the Shadowspear for a return. I don't really mind. They're expressing themselves! Stop them! It's not a good joke. I just love it, all right? And I would like chat to just chill out about it, all right? So they have a Bolt in Exile. They're definitely going to cast it. But I have, even once I lose the Frogmite, I have a 4/4 Construct, so that's fine. It's fine, I'll take the 2. Can even the life totals out a little bit more. You got him. Bloop. Their heat is not flipped yet. So that's what I wanted to fetch, maybe. But now we get Relic and just cycle it immediately. I think. Because I already have a Welding Jar. So chipping away at their graveyard right now is probably not good enough. I guess it is because... But I can't... I mean, I could play this Springleaf Drum this turn, but I don't feel like it. So we'll smash him for 7. Obviously, playing the Memnite was worth it. If I'm not cracking the Relic now... So I can do this and still crack the Relic. There's no... I don't think they're playing a 1-mana counter. And the question is, am I worried if they Murktide for this graveyard? No, I have Dispatch in my hand and a Springleaf in play. Okay, good. Sorry, I just needed to work through that. Don't bother with why it took so long for me to do that. Yeah. I got there, Fran. for some reason, it took me a minute. Yeah. It took me a second to figure that out. But it's not even holding up Relic. Like, they're now incentivized to cast their Murktide. Exactly. Okay, you're there. They're expressing themselves again. That's fine. Yeah. We also can just move the Spear and have a 9/9 construct with lifelink and trample. And I have Galvanic Blast in hand, so it's pretty good. Hope we don't lose this game by 1 point. Oh, because I could have played it before combat? Yeah, sure. Yeah. I lost a previous game by a couple points that I think I could have had. So, and it was also against Murktide. So I feel like that's going to be a pattern for me against Murktide decks with this deck. It's just you have to play it on very tight, narrow margins, and I'm just not good at it. I've said it for many months, many moons. Which is worse right now in Modern, Etched Champion or Primeval Titan? In my opinion, Etched Champion. OP took infinite damage off the canopy. Yeah, and they still have 2 in play that they have to use if they want to play any more spells, most likely this turn. Yeah, the canopy lands, or the horizon lands, are not free. Leave your prime time out of this? Well, the joke there, 2 Crowns, is that obviously Amulet Titan has not been performing particularly well. But, I mean... So we have the kill here, I think. Depending on how they want to play it. But I think I have the kill no matter what. No, because I don't have the colors to play my removal spells. But the point is, the Amulet Titan deck has just been suffering, and So Alex's shitpost question was, people want to jam Canopy lands in your Naya decks? You've got the cycling lands with Wrenn and 6. That seems way better. Okay, so this is what I thought was coming. So we tap it in response to float a red, shoot the Memnite, equip the spear, and they die. No, I don't have to. I don't even have to move the spear. This is a really bad play. That was awful. I don't need to do anything. I can just show them the error of their ways. I guess I crack Relic instead. We just equip the spear and kill them. The only way they get through this is if they have some kind of free spell in red-blue that somehow interacts with my board. Oh, they can attack and gain too, but no, it's not enough. I think they're assuming that I don't know that I can do this. But I've known the whole time, I just haven't had time. Yeah. Alright. So 3-2 with this list, and I think if I had played tighter against the first Murktide opponent, we would have been okay. And then that Stoneforge deck was just brutal. Like, the way, especially the way Game 2 worked out, where we took the gamble play that they didn't have Verdict, and then they Verdicted us. Like, that was what it was. This version seems generally good. Yeah, that's exactly what it was. 2 Crowns is like I was managed, like my mana was better spent elsewhere at all those points. I think. Nettlecyst didn't seem particularly anything in this list, so like you can't tutor it, and it's way more expensive than Cranial Plating. How did Champion feel? Well, when I boarded it in, it died. And the other day when I boarded it in, it died. So, awful. Awful. Sideboard Metallic Rebuke seems wrong to me. I feel like it should either be Mystical Dispute or Flusterstorm. The split of Graveyard Hate... I think I liked the challenge version better for the way that the Graveyard Hate was split in the sideboard, and for the choice of Flusterstorm. And then Dispatch was pretty good here in a bunch of games. Was Jegantha relevant? Yeah, Jegantha has been relevant in a bunch of games for these decks. Now this league, the games where I managed to resolve the Jegantha, we didn't win, but it doesn't mean that Jegantha wasn't relevant. It just means like it wasn't good enough. Which it frequently isn't. Like, a Colossopete's not that good, but sometimes, just like with the Humans deck that used to play Jegantha, it's worth it. Now, this deck isn't losing anything for playing Jegantha, whereas I think Humans is? Though I can't imagine what Humans was losing access to play Jegantha. It's nothing in the main deck, right? Obviously, Sanctifier in the sideboard. Jegantha seems good versus Blood Moon. I mean, we're already a deck that plays red, right? So. Etched Champion? They don't play that. Nobody plays that card right now. Anyway, so this was a fine version of Affinity. So, if you're in the future and you enjoyed that playthrough of Affinity, hopefully you hit that like button, smash that subscribe button, and check out any of the other videos I have on here, and